Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on another lockdown edition here in Melbourne. Of course, let's turn our attention now to VNL and of course speak with our City West Falcons ambassadors. And it was only 2 days ago, of course, when they got to play their round 11 match against the Hawks at the State Netball Centre. And all three teams won against the Hawks netball, of course, to keep themselves in the hunt for finals. And, of course, we've got four very special guests joining us right now to tell us a bit about it. Thanks, all you, for joining us.
No worries.
No worries.
Well, I'll get each of you to introduce yourselves and tell us what position you'll play on the courts.
My name's Sarah and I play wing attack.
I'm Caitlin. I play goal attack.
I'm Emma and I play centre.
And I'm Bess and I play defence.
Go to Div 1 first, because I scored both your games in lockdown, just before lockdown. Now, Div 1 almost gave me a heart attack in that game. You led by 10 at half time, went to a tie at three-quarter time before you pulled away in the last quarter. Tell us a bit about that game against the Hawks.
Very intense. I didn't expect it to go that way, but I think we won, so it was good to fight it to the end. I think it proved to us that we're still improving throughout the season, and if that had been at the start of the season, it probably could have gone a different way. So, yeah, it was good to be able to turn it around again.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think we were a bit rusty. Like, we've been out for 3 weeks. We haven't played. But we did well. I mean, I made a few silly errors, but I think I was just rusty getting into the groove. But luckily, the backline pulled through.
It was a team effort.
What was the message at three-quarter time? Because, the momentum was on the Hawks side after coming back from 10 back to tie the game. What was the message at three-quarter time? Because the way that the team started the last quarter was probably a very similar way how you start the second quarter.
I know for me, like, coming out of the third quarter, I played a pretty bad third quarter and I was a bit bummed down. But I just, told myself, just compose. I had in my head, I knew that I just needed to pull myself together. And I think people were trying to talk to me and I was just like, guys, don't worry, I've got it under control. Just don't cloud my head. I've just got it. So personally for me, I just had to relax my mind and just go into it. But I think we all just wanted to win. It's been so long. And like Crofty said at the start of the year, it probably would have gone the other way. But we've just learned how to pull it together now.
Yeah, I was the same as Caitlin. Can't really remember what was told to us, but I was just thinking in my head, there's no way I'm letting us lose. I'm going to do my job. I just remember them saying, we obviously have the potential, the skill to do it. We just needed to hone in on, the way we played in the second quarter, take it easy, and we'll be fine. We'll breeze through it.
You won by 17 goals at the end, which always seemed to be one big quarter in every single game that you've won. Tell us a bit about the game, and even though it was pretty tough and physical throughout.
Yeah, it was one of those games that was going to be tricky for everyone because it was our first game back in a few weeks, especially because last time we versed Hawks, we only won by 2. So I think definitely coming into the game, we had a mindset of each quarter we just build on what we've got. And yeah, I think the third quarter is when we really, really stretched it out a bit. But yeah, it was a build up throughout the whole game, which was really, really good. And everyone did their job and not try to do too much. But yeah, it was a really good opening game to get back into the season.
You did play a fair bit in that game, of course, coming off the bench. I guess, and I think especially that mid-court started to gain that momentum again after the slow start. Were you just in there to, hopefully put, lift the energy of the team, considering how slow and bit sluggish the team were?
Yeah, it was. It's actually good coming from the bench because you do watch on court and see, some aspects that need to be maybe added on court. So when I came on, I noticed that, the girls were feeling a little bit tired. So it was nice to come on and be maybe an extra bit of a motivator But it's awesome coming on when I've got Maggie and Solly and Montana around me, because they're always awesome. So yeah, it's good coming from the bench because you do get to see what you need to put on. Yeah.
Obviously, we've got no one in the 19s, but obviously the 19s won as well, which is fantastic. The defending champs, technically still the defending champs. But I guess, are you reasonably happy where the 19s are at the moment, considering obviously they won in a critical game for them to stay in the hunt for the finals, and they're currently at 6-5?
Yeah, they're doing well. They've got like a very different team to the last 19s. Like me, Emma, Sarah, and I were all in the 19s. Like the last season we had when we won, and it's completely different. But they're doing very well. Like for most of them, they're playing their first season. But I mean, they've got a lot of help from Ali Keating, who's absolutely tearing the competition apart. But no, they're all doing very well. I'm proud of them, little baby Falcons.
Yeah, and I'm really happy for them as well. They started the season similar to Div 1, and they're just trying to crawl their way back into finals. It was also good because Hawks are top of the ladder, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, maybe they haven't lost a game. But yeah, so it was really good from them to be able to get that win.
They've still got a chance of getting top. They're only 2 games behind top spot. I guess tell us, and this question particularly goes to the 3 that were in the premiership team last year. Did you give them any advice? And I'll ask the same question to you, Bess, as well. Did any of you give any advice to the 19s to how to cope through the VNL competition, especially in the 19s for their first years?
Honestly, probably not. Like, I know that like going into like the start of the season, I sort of said like, are you nervous? Like, and I sort of told them like when it was my first game, you're just gonna be so nervous, but then when you get out there, you'll just calm down. But other than that, not really direct advice, but we all train like as a club. So I guess they sort of just pick up on things you say and how you play and train during it. But they've held their own pretty well.
Yeah, similar to Caitlin as well. It's good that they've got Ali and Chloe as their captains because they were in the premiership team, so they've been able to give good advice to the girls. But yeah, other than just talking to them, when I watched their first game, I mean, most of them did very, very well for their first game. And I told them, I remember mine, and I did not do well. Got on like first quarter, got taken off, and all these girls were tearing it up. So I was like, just give them positive feedback and tell them keep going. Like, they should be very proud of themselves. And they're doing very well for being such a new team this season. So, yeah.
I think it's also good that we train all together as a club as well. So it's always mixed with champ, Div 1 and 19. So they get a chance to be mixing and training at the same intensity as some of us older girls, which is awesome. So I think that's been really good, which they've been able to implement into their game.
Yeah, I think as well, like because of all of our setbacks with COVID, like last year, we never really got a chance to connect with them, like because they're all very new, like first year sort of thing. But then like with our consistent lockdowns, every training I'm sort of getting to know them a bit more, like, or a new player from 19 a bit more. So it's good. We're still getting to know them, but no, they're doing well.
Now we'll talk about Div 1. You mentioned, you're definitely right. 19s and Div 1 have a very similar start and a very similar where they're currently at the moment between yourselves in the 19, 6-5. But you're actually in the 4 at the moment, 2 games clear of everyone else. Are you reasonably happy where you are at the moment? Obviously, that Hawks game was pretty critical in regards to where you wanted to end up in the finals.
Absolutely. Well, we started bottom on the ladder, and Hawks are our biggest competition for taking 4th spot. So now we're 2 games clear of them, which is really good. I was still a bit confused with how it was working, with whether we're going to put into pools, ladders and stuff, but I'm assuming we're not because they've just kept the normal ladder. So as long as we get one more win, I'm pretty sure we're guaranteed finals, which is awesome.
If they happen.
If they happen, exactly. Everything is so unknown now.
They will.
Yes.
They will. But yeah, no, it's sort of like a started from the bottom, now we're here situation, but we've done well. Because last season, I remember with Div 1, they started bottom and then they ended up 5th and they only just missed out of finals.
That's
So
right.
this season, for us to sort of like pull it together at like a crucial time in order to make the 4, with still a few games to go, that's really good from us. So as long as we just keep going, we'll be right.
What seemed to change? Going from starting very slowly, and obviously we're in the bottom of the ladder after the first couple of rounds, to where you are 6 and 5, 2 games clear of the rest of the pack, and trying to hopefully still get third of Boroondara.
I mean, I think it's hard. I think the Div 1 competition this year is quite uneven, actually. I think there is quite a big gap between sort of the top 3 teams and the bottom 5 teams. 5, 6. In the sense of just we had a really tough draw. Like our first 5 rounds, we played first 4 rounds, we played the top 3 teams. And I think the way that the competition has worked is those 3 teams at the top are kind of a step above the rest of the teams in the competition, or it certainly felt like that. I don't know if the others would agree. And so I think that having that confidence, and the fact that our Div 1 team, we've never played together as well. So the majority of the team had never played at the Div 1 level before. It's only Tony and myself who've played in Div 1 before. So that makes the different kind of bodies and competition, and the fact that none of us had played in 18 months, I think just meant that when we got to the first couple of games, it was a bit like shell shock, to be honest, I think, coming into it.
Yeah, I think it was just finding our feet and having a lot of belief in ourselves. And it's taken a few of us young girls a bit of time to believe it. But I think it now shows, especially Lucia, she's come into the season so strong and like such a reliable player on court. And same as Caitlin and myself, like it just took us a bit to be like, you know what, we are capable. And I honestly still think we're capable of beating the top 3 teams when we're playing well. So bring on finals, I say.
Yeah, I think it's over time, it is like, especially we've never played together before, and then with COVID, like you're constantly stopping and starting in trainings and stuff. So even now, every week, I feel like a goaling connection is like very important, and me and Jessie are learning off one another every week. So we're just building upon our game every week as it comes, and that's probably why we're doing a lot better. And we're just enjoying it more as it goes on, I guess.
Emma, obviously your championship team at the moment, after the draw, the come from behind draw against Geelong, you haven't lost a game yet. 10-0 and a draw. And obviously game and a half clear of Melbourne Uni. I'm assuming the team is reasonably happy where they are at the top of the ladder.
Yeah, for sure. I think especially when it's been such an interrupted season, for us to even come back this Wednesday and really have a solid front. I think all of the girls were really proud of ourselves as a team, and it shows that we've really got that bond. More than talent, it's more of a bond between all of us that we can keep playing. And yeah, it's exciting because we have Geelong coming up. Well, when we're out of lockdown, we have Geelong next, so it'll be exciting to get back out there and play them, not when it's a round 1 after we haven't played for a year. So it'll be really good. But the girls are really, really happy where we're sitting, and I think we're just taking it game by game and not getting too ahead of ourselves. So I think that's how we've gotten in the position we are now.
We don't have much, I guess, interruption in regards to the team-wise. It's pretty, and especially, with a lot of teams losing players with Suncourt Super Netball commitments, but the Falcons are pretty good in regards to, haven't really lost anyone due to that. How important is that solidarity between, among players in regards to not losing anyone to Suncourt Super Netball?
Yeah, I think that we've been pretty fortunate. We've had Maggie being able to step up with the Pies twice this year, which has been awesome for her. But it is also good for Falcons that we have had everyone consistently there throughout the year, especially when other teams have lost a few assets through the year. But no, very, very lucky. And it's lucky that there's been 2 positions for some younger players like me and Mel to have the opportunity just to get some time on court and to learn from the other girls in the team, because they're such leaders and have, like, they know the team so well because they've played so many years. So yeah, it's awesome.
Your next game, whenever that is against obviously Geelong, as Em's saying. I guess how strange will it be when you verse against Geelong, knowing that you haven't versed them since almost 4 months now, by the time you eventually verse them. I guess how strange will it be, when you have to verse Geelong again?
It's more exciting that we're getting to verse them again. I think everyone is a bit more motivated since we did come back from being down and we did get that draw. But I think everyone has that hunger inside of them that we want to beat Geelong, of course. But it is exciting. We've had 4.5 months to really develop as a team, and we know our strengths, we know our game plans. So it'll be awesome to go out there and have a good fight against them and win.
I think there's like an unspoken rivalry between Falcons and Geelong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I don't know where it started, but
I can tell you
it's good.
It's
good. I love playing against them, and I have like a lot of respect for them as a club. They kill it every season, but I love to beat them. So yeah, I'm hoping that we do get to go out there soon and hopefully win. We'll see.
Now for all 4 of you, what does obviously with the stop-start, it's been happening. I guess, what does the sport of netball mean to all of you now?
I think it's so important with everything that we're going through to just have that thing that you can always come back to. It's been awesome to have it online too when we're, in lockdown, just so we get that routine still going. And yeah, I just always loved it, always will.
Yeah, I think being apart from it for so long sort of puts into perspective how important it is. And I was saying to Dad the other day, I was like, even if we were locked down, if we could still go to training and stuff, I'd feel a lot better. I think it's just good. We're very much a family. We're forced to see one another 3 times a week, but we just learn to love it, and it's just good to have that, not just exercise, but that community as well to support one another through. And I think we're all going through a bit of a tough time at the moment, especially some players that we've got each other's backs, and yeah, it's just good to have that outlet.
I mean, it's just it's been such a big part of our weeks for so long. It's hard to imagine not having it. And when we didn't have it, it was hard. I know for me, a big part of it is having a release, having a space where it's I can kind of just focus on the game and focus on what I have to do in the next 15 minutes or 5 minutes. And it's just, yeah, it's easy to shut the rest of the world off and just go out there and play and be focused on that for the 60 minutes.
Now we'll finish up with a couple lighthearted questions about your teammates so far this season. Any embarrassing moments by anyone on your respective teams?
Crofty's warm-up face dive is probably the highlight of my season.
Yeah.
I'm just so disappointed that it was not captured on film, because it was just very impressive.
For context, we were warming up doing half court just before a game, and she goes to take a pocket ball. You've never seen a stack like it. She absolutely just smacked to the ground.
It was so soft. It was just she just kind of fell and just sort of swam on the ground. But
I rammed it down.
Yeah.
And I went from there to there on top of the ball. Just it wasn't so elegant.
Otherwise, I can't really think of anything too embarrassing. Surprisingly, I don't think I fell that much this season.
I was just about to say.
No, you haven't.
You can expect Caitlin to fall over at training though.
Training, yeah.
But,
off court.
Yeah. Okay, I was having the worst training, the worst ever. Anything you can imagine going wrong in your life that day, it happened. And I get to training, and I'm just a mess, whatever. And then I'm walking over to the court, and my foot gets caught in someone's bag strap and like going off the step. And everyone just looks at me. I just smacked like 5 meters away. I always fall at training, but I've done well in the games. I'm a bit more coordinated, I think.
Actually, on Wednesday night, I don't know if you saw it, Will, but before the game, they just set up the camera for the game.
Yes.
Anyway, we're all having a team meeting, and we're like, "Where's Solly?" You know, and we look around, and
Yes.
Solly's on her hair in front of the window.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did see that.
Filming her whistling her hair.
I did see that.
It was so funny.
I was so happy you were going to mention that, Em, because I did see that on Wednesday.
You needed to be called out for that.
Yeah,
So what
absolutely.
happened? I couldn't hear what happened.
She were all having like a team meeting in a circle, and Solly went to the other like side of the court where all the windows are, and she's like fixing her hair and making it look pretty, but the camera for the game is right in front of her, but she didn't notice it. So you're just going to see her big head doing her hair before the game.
Well, was it on the live stream one or like the Match Sports one?
I think the match sports one.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Match Sports one.
Too good. We're going to get that footage, I reckon.
Yes, I did see it, and I said to someone on the bench, like, "What's she doing over there?" So.
Who knows?
Now, who's the comedian in the team?
Lucia.
Yeah, let's see. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, she's funny. I hate that she's going to hear that. She'll take that and run with it, but she's pretty funny. What about you, Emma?
I would say Maggie, just because she is very honest and just says stuff that's pretty funny. Everybody knows what I'm talking about here, so.
Any good singers or dancers we should know about?
I think
Caitlin?
Lucy is a good singer.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh yeah. I feel like Montana would do well on the dance floor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like
I'm trying to
netball's
think.
really like
Yeah.
coordinated when it comes to dancing.
Yeah, we should not dance ever. Our limbs are too long. No. All the coaches, they do like the good end of year video. They all
Yes,
get
that's
their
right.
on and yeah. But yeah, otherwise I don't know. And I know that Lucia can sing. It's like a hidden talent, but I don't know if anyone else can.
Right, I might ask Maggie to see if we can get Lucy on the show. Maybe too, and then I'll prompt her that question.
Yeah.
Now we'll finish off this last one, which is: do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual, or has that sort of gone considering we've start so far this season?
Actually, Will, you were a part of this one. We talked about it before the game. You go sock, shoe, shoe.
That's what I was doing.
Just have to say that it has to go like my left sock, my right sock, my left shoe.
Yes.
Really? I think I'm the opposite. I think that I do it one foot and then the other foot. Yeah, that's my only superstition that I have is I've got to have a plait in finals. I don't know why. It's just finals time, high ponytail with a plait. That's it. That's my one. You know, I actually saw that Nicole Richardson, she has like a really like interesting superstition, or she did, like it was on the Collingwood black and white show like a month ago or so. She used to like tape a crystal, I think, to her ankle, like a lock crystal or something like that when she'd play. I was like, well, that's actually, that's full on.
so funny. I used to as a kid. Like I remember there were all things I had to do, like wear the same bike shorts and like the right socks and stuff, and whatever. I had to eat the right food and stuff. But now I wing it every time.
Yeah. Actually, no, I do have to wear the same bike shorts. I have a particular pair that I've got.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have any either. I mean, I strap my ankles. I have like the ritual of like strapping my ankles. It's like quite methodical before a game, but otherwise, not really.
Well, all four of you, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. It's awesome having all four of you on the show. Best luck for obviously the rest of the season, and let's hope it all goes well once we somehow get out of this lockdown. I know I'll be at your next game because I'm pretty sure I'm scoring the following week as well. So best of luck, and can't wait to see where obviously, hopefully all three teams, definitely I know Champ's going to get there because they're so far in front of everyone else in the rest of the pack. But obviously for Div 1 and 19s, let's have, of course, the other two teams can get in the finals and stay there and come in about 3 or 4 weeks' time.
Thanks, Will.
Thanks,
Thanks, Will.
Thanks, Will.